Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this channel, EdMask, the channel for education, learning, and development. Today, I want to talk about mental health and loss. You know that it's okay not to be okay. You know that everyone in life gets to a point of loss or grief. Here, I take you through what loss is, what could be the effects, and maybe how to cope with loss. Whether you are struggling in silence, or you are supporting someone else, or you need someone to talk to, please remember you are not alone. There are so many people who are struggling in life. So many people have lost their relatives. There are so many people who have lost their friends. There are so many people who have lost their businesses. And at this point, I'll ask, or maybe go in details to talk about what is loss. If we talked about loss, what do actually someone get to know in his or her life? In life, you find that there are so many losses that come with our day-to-day life. And one of the things one needs to look at is that there is loss due to death of a loved one. It could break up in a relationship. It could be loss of a job or identity. It could be physical health decline. It could be physical decline, or it could be loss of a home or a community or identity. And what do I mean? Death occurs every day, now and then. We've lost our relatives. We've lost our brothers and sisters. We've lost friends. Someone that is not comparable to another person. Could be your dad, could be your mother or your sister, or your close friend at work. It could be a breakup in a relationship. You realize that so many people invest into relationship, and they nurture it to grow and carry it forward. In the process, as it grows, you get issues in between or amongst you people, and then you break up. That's a loss. Which loss has an impact on your life. Then there's loss of a job or identity. So many people lose their jobs, and then they go into stress. They go into anxiety. They go into depression. They find there's no any safety net to help them through this process. This brings too much grief amongst people, and then they find themselves on hard rock, in between hard rock. You realize that there's also the physical kind of decline, physical health decline. You've lost your weight, you've lost everything. And each time you look at yourself, you're shrinking every day. You're almost losing everything. A big house you used to be in is becoming very small for you. You're becoming too lonely in life, even when you have so much around you. There is loneliness over home, loss over home. People have lost their homes. People have lost everything. People have lost their land. People have lost all their safety nets. They've lost their community benefits. They've lost their security. Everything for them has been robbed, or maybe it has been taken away by either naturally, by disaster, or maybe by force. All these, as I've talked about them, they lead to loss. And then they also lead to grief. Remember, to a situation of work where you have no one to talk to about your issue. No one you can ask how. I remember when I had a personal issue, I had no one at work. No one asked no one asked how I was doing. And I remember no one came in the room for me to speak to or to speak. And I felt intense pressure to hide my pain was to keep quiet, because nobody would realize what I was going through. And I stayed professional, not to show my stress, not to show my emotion, because I lost my job. In a nutshell, I made other people think I couldn't cope. After realizing that I have issues, I cannot be able to manage them myself. I cannot be able to talk to a few colleagues, a few friends. Everyone around me knew about it. So I had to make sure that now I need to build resilience. And in myself, as building resilience, I had to make sure that I keep around my close friends. And this close friend of mine would help me. Actually, at one point, some of my friends could take me out, could take me for happening places to keep with them, feel myself, feel that I'm part of them. But also I realized as a person who had an alternative skill, I made sure and I said, no, how can I be able to help myself? I've tried this and this. My situation wasn't too much like to push me too much into like thinking, imagining how to like strangle myself or maybe kill myself or what. But then I said, no, how can I be able to make sure that I go through this process in a way that is key and lovely for me and it's bearable for me. And this is what I've tried several times. I find myself at Hard Rock, and I encourage my friends to also to cope up with this. Usually what I do some kind of paintings. So I usually do some kind of paintings depending on the situation I'm going through. I remember I talked about issues, people losing the job, looking at the way they lose their jobs and the pressure. So the way our bosses give us instructions. So I realized, no, it's too much for me. I had to sit down, review myself, help myself, and I had to move to see myself and see how best I could move. Because I remember a time when I was homeless for 3 years. The only place I would have is coming from point A to point B, just for sleep and then walk, just for sleep somewhere, you sleep and then go back to work. This kind of situation took me a while, but because my friends knew all about it, because my friends knew what I was going through, they would keep on checking on you, they could keep on calling you, they would keep on giving you support. Even financial support is very key. Doesn't mean that because at one point you find like I needed to travel, maybe I had the money with me, but you find yourself someone gives you like some support, not knowing why, but it's just making you to feel that it's part of you. It's part of you. So I said no. I think I need to start a few small things for me to be able to catch up. One of the best things I like in life is flowers. I love seeing flowers around, like growing flowers. Leave this banquet where people give banquets, but I love seeing flowers growing, like being in that kind of serenity with flowers and trees and the rest. And maybe being around the lake. These are some of the places I like most. That kind of sound that comes with the lake, that kind of serenity that comes around the lake gives me peace. So I used to go to around the lake, do some kind of paintings. I used to, even at home, if I am stressed, I wake up and then put a drawing board and then I start drawing or painting. That's what I do. Actually, another thing that I found in my life that gives me more peace. Each time I find out, if I went to bed and I found myself not having enough sleep, I found that I feel like something stressing me, I just have to wake up, get a novel. I can always read a novel and finish it in a night. So there are things which have helped me in my life. That if I'm stressed, I feel I need to be reading something that is positive for me. I sometimes buy novels, but I don't take it. I just buy them, read the back of it, and then don't take. Read a few pages, and then I don't get back to them very soon. But once I get into stress, then the fallback, the things that I lean on, is reading my novels. Then secondly, what I do is do my paintings. I can always buy my canvases, keep them somewhere, and then I find myself doing paintings in a time where I feel I'm stressed. I need to release what is in my head. So I keep on making my paintings in a way to release the grief, in a way to relieve myself from the loss. My paintings help me to release. I either paint someone I love, I either paint the beauty, the few things that I find myself that are interesting. Because usually I want to paint things which are easy for me so that I don't have to think so much. But at least paintings do for me, and being in an environment where there are flowers, and also being in an environment where there is a lake or water, it gives me peace. So each brother, the politicians, the teachers, the lawyers, and so many other colleagues, so many other friends or colleagues or people I've not met who are going to be watching this video, can you please try to do something different, to do something that you feel you're interested in. I told you I find myself having much time to read a novel, and I get interested in it at a time when I feel I'm so much stressed. And this has helped me to manage my loss, manage my mental health, and also the grief that will befall me. So in this case, I call upon you, or friends, colleagues, and relatives, to pick up from your skills and see how you can be able to manage your mental health and loss. Thank you so much for listening. This is Ed Mask, your channel. Subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Bye.
Feeling good. Every day and every night, life is a journey full of spices. Gotta savor every slice. I have surprises on the corner. I can't predict, I can't pretend. Just have to make them yours. Enter directly, open the doors. Dancing like no one is watching, love and laughter. There's no time to stop right now. We are alive, let's take advantage and take that dip. Walking on the street, feeling so free. Every moment is a gift you cannot see. Don't need to worry about tomorrow's conflicts. Just enjoy the moment, make the most of life. Living, getting lost in the flow.
At the American Leadership Class ALC, we take pride in our commitment to academic excellence and preparing students for professional and personal success. We are excited to share that the registration for the academic year is now open. For information and registration information, please send your inquiry to admissionsdesk.ala@gmail.com, and a dedicated team will promptly get back to you.